Hey guys, my name's Doug with Infotainment.com. Today we're in the Toyota Camry 2015 through 17. This looks familiar to a lot of you. This is the Entune base model radio. You'll notice it doesn't have the apps key, doesn't have maps. So this is the base model. A step up from this is the Entune Plus, which gives you the apps feature. That can be special ordered from our website, a plug-and-play option. Today what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to install the Entune Premium system, which you'll notice has not only the apps but also the micro SD card, map card. Installation's pretty straightforward. All of our systems come pre-programmed for a plug-and-play installation. This particular vehicle does not have JBL audio, and most of our nav systems have JBL, so you will need to install our plug-and-play amplifier kit. There's no cutting, splicing of wires. It's all plug and play with pass-through harnesses. So installation, as I mentioned, is very easy. We need a Phillips head screwdriver, 10mm socket, and some sort of trim pry tool or flathead screwdriver. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to want to do in most of our installations, you're going to want to disconnect the negative battery terminal so there's no power going to any of the electronics. But in this case, we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to take off this top dash piece here, just held in with retaining clips. So we'll flip that and set it off to the side. That'll give us access to the two 10mm screws that are part of this radio bracket setup. Next thing we're going to do is remove the lower console. This little cubby down here is just held in with retaining clips. That'll expose two Phillips head screws. We can then pop this lower panel out. And what we'll need to do now is insert the key, and we're going to put it into neutral. Make sure you have your parking brake on, and that'll allow us a little bit more room to remove this lower center console. So we now have it in neutral. Once we disconnect the clip or the connector down here for the gear shifter, we'll just twist this so it's kind of out of the way. And then there's going to be 4 screws that hold in this lower cubby here. Those are going to be Phillips head screws as well. Now that the 4 screws are out, we can pop this cubby out. It's just held in with retaining clips at that point. And then we just disconnect the 2 connectors that are in the bottom here, one for the cigarette lighter and one for the USB. And now that that's removed, that'll give us access to the 2 10mm screws that are on the bottom of the radio. And then we can get the 2 10mm screws on the top. Alright, now at this point, all the screws are removed. This is just held in with retaining clips now. So let me go ahead and shut the vehicle off. And we just pop this out. And then we come in the back here and we just remove all of the connectors. Now we can remove this and set it off to the side. Now you'll notice the base model radio, which was in the vehicle, we need to remove the climate controls here. These are the manual climate controls, and we need to install them onto the navigation system. It's really easy to do. You just have to remove the 5 screws on each side, transplant the bracket from this system to the navigation system, and then the climate controls will pop into place. Now we'll just replace the brackets on both sides and adhere it to the climate control module. Okay, you'll notice now we have the manual climate control installed. You'll also notice an extra module here. This particular customer wanted to add the Sirius XM, so that is the reason for the module here on the bottom. So let's now go install this in the vehicle. Now what we're going to do, since this vehicle is a non-JBL Camry and we're installing a JBL Entune Premium system, we're going to install our plug-and-play JBL amp kit. You can install this really anywhere you want. A lot of times we'll put it underneath the passenger seat. There's also a very large cubby down here where you can mount it in there. But the harness itself is completely plug and play. So you plug in your male factory radio connectors into the female connectors. Now that those are seated in, you plug these 3 connectors along with these 2 here into the back of the radio, and this one as well. The last thing to do before actually popping the radio into place is you're going to want to route your GPS antenna. We do have a new GPS antenna that's coming out here shortly that's magnetic, so you can put it really anywhere you want. This video is just for demonstration purposes only, so what we'll do is temporarily set it up on the dash. You could use double-sided tape. As I mentioned, we do have magnetic ones coming out as well. But just anywhere just beneath the dash top, these antennas are extremely strong. You don't need it mounted on the outside of the vehicle or anything like that. So now we're ready to install our amp and plug everything and power it up. Okay, I have all the connectors connected in through here. You'll notice an extra connector here for the GPS antenna that just snaps into place. As I mentioned before, this is a little bit different than the original radio in the fact that this one has Sirius XM in it. We do offer Sirius XM plug-and-play kits for the Camry and most of Toyotas. That's why you'll notice a couple extra connectors here. If you do decide to install the Sirius satellite radio feature in your vehicle, you just have to get it an antenna that'll plug in this port here and mount that on the roof or the trunk of your vehicle, and that'll give you the Sirius XM capability. But as I mentioned, that is also an option on our website. plug-and-play Sirius XM kits. Now what we're going to do is get the navigation radio seated in place here. It'll pop right in. Then we're just going to reinstall the dash the way that we took it apart and power it up. All right, now we got everything buttoned back up in its place. So what we're going to do now is we're going to fire it up and check it out. So right off the bat, you'll notice the nice big display. And we have a plug-and-play navigation Entune Premium system here. You'll notice it is
varieties of Classico pasta sauce, or buy one get
the volume works here with the JBL amp. You'll notice also the sound quality be so much better. But you have, you know, this particular model, like I said, the customer wanted the XM radio, so that extra tuner was in there. So we have our XM channels. You got the radio data system here, which will give you album art and text there. One of the coolest features, obviously, is your apps feature. So you now have navigation is the big one, traffic and weather through XM, and then you have all of your apps. These are the big, the cool Toyota Intune apps through your phone. So you'll be able to utilize all of those. Navigation obviously is the big one here. You'll notice our location was picked up immediately. We don't have our phone paired to it yet. You'll notice it did pick it up immediately. So this is a really slick navigation system. Toyota did a really good job with this. If you could go to destination, obviously it's going to be like your traditional nav system where you can enter an address, point of interest, previous destinations for a quick lookup. Obviously keep some in your address book. Home, will get you home real nice and quick there. Coordinates, so on and so forth. So really slick upgrade for those of you who use navigation or just want an all-around better radio in your Camry. As I mentioned before, we do satellite radio upgrades here. You don't have to upgrade to nav to get satellite radio. You can get that with the base in the Plus as well system. So check us out for the satellite radio. We do rear cameras, plug-and-play rear cameras. You also notice quick, the rear camera image obviously is a lot bigger. The quality is definitely better as well with the bigger screen for your, as far as your rear camera is concerned. But as I mentioned, all plug and play. Come check us out, Infotainment.com. We'll be able to help you. We have agents standing by that can answer any of your questions. We also have a lot of data on our website, so come check us out. Thanks for watching, guys.